Hi guys. In today's video we are going to show you some of the best smart TVs of 2023. I've included the links in the description box below. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. First one is LG C2 OLED. It includes the new Alpha 9 Gen 5 processor, which is designed to offer better object enhancement and dynamic tone mapping than its predecessor. As well as that, you're getting virtual surround sound, with the TV upscaling stereo content into 7.1.2 channel sound. While we weren't convinced by the claims of virtual surround sound, the audio performance is good for a flat-screen TV, and a number of different sound modes means you should be able to find an audio profile that suits your needs. In addition to those improvements, the C2 OLED carries forward the 4 separate HDMI 2.1 ports that it inherited from the C1 OLED, meaning it's the perfect companion for the PS5, Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. The LG C2 isn't flawless, however. Off-axis color saturation does diminish a bit when you move to the left or right of the screen when compared to the new QD OLED models, and LG doesn't support either the IMAX Enhanced or HDR10 Plus format. There are, of course, higher resolution flat-screen TVs out there right now, like the Samsung QN900B, which offers 8K resolution, and the new upgraded LG G2 OLED that has a slightly higher peak brightness, but for the price, this is the absolute best TV you're able to buy right now. Next one is Hisense U8H. The U8H series chief claim to fame is its mini LED backlight, a feature first implemented in LCD TVs by rival TCL that was quickly adopted by Samsung, LG, and Sony in their own sets. A major benefit to mini LED is high brightness, something the U8H series readily delivers. But high brightness isn't the only thing about the U8H that impresses. It uses a quantum dot filter for enhanced color, and the 504 local dimming zones on the 65-inch model deliver deep and detailed blacks. Some backlight blooming, a typical artifact with LED backlit TVs that feature local dimming, can be seen with challenging material, but that's the exception rather than the norm. With support for Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and HLG, the U8H series is ready for any HDR format you stream or feed to it, and it also has a filmmaker mode that provides mostly accurate out-of-box color. Another impressive aspect of the U8H is its extensive support for next-gen gaming consoles. Along with 120Hz display, it offers variable refresh rate, VRR, auto low latency mode, ALLM, and FreeSync Premium Pro. There's a lot to say about U8H series, but the key takeaway is that Hisense provides great value here. Next one is Vizio H1. Vizio's OLED TV is a cheaper alternative to the more premium screens that LG and Sony have been producing for the past few years. For folks who don't want to spend a fortune, the Vizio OLED has most of the same key features, and it offers largely similar performance as other OLEDs for hundreds of dollars less. Of course, as an OLED screen, the Vizio OLED has both some big advantages and a few flaws, worth pointing out up front. In the former category, we have exceptional black levels and extremely thin chassis, the other benefits of OLED being the exceptional contrast and wider viewing angles that most folks can appreciate. The downside is that OLEDs in general aren't as bright as their LED LCD counterparts, and Vizio's OLED in particular is dimmer than most. Compounding the problems of this flat-screen TV is Vizio's SmartCast platform, which is missing a few key apps and can be a bit slow after startup. We also feel that the upscaling on the Vizio OLED isn't as strong as LG or Sony's upscaling algorithms, as we spotted a heavy grain on HD sources on more than one occasion. What you're left with, after you consider all the details, is a good budget OLED that excels at 4K HDR content and stumbles slightly with HD upscaling. Next one is Samsung QN900B. 8K might feel a bit like overkill to some, but there's no doubt in our mind that the Samsung QN900B Neo QLED 8K TV is on another level of performance. Samsung's mini LED sporting QN900B Neo QLED 8K TV offers stunning picture quality, exceptional color and brightness, terrific sound, and outstanding blacks, all in a package that's unmatched in terms of design. For the uninitiated, Samsung's Quantum Mini LEDs are 1/40th the thickness of a regular LED, meaning thousands of smaller LEDs can be packed together in a much tighter fashion, allowing for far more accurate dimming zones and black levels that are practically indistinguishable from an OLED. As the LEDs are far smaller, they're able to achieve far more precision and less blooming, so the act of seeing bright areas of the screen unnaturally bleed over into darker spots should be greatly reduced or not evident at all. And because it takes advantage of Samsung's multi-intelligence AI upscaling, the QN900A is consistently able to produce images that looked better than their source. Unfortunately, the change to a full-screen, content-packed home menu brings about some frustration. No longer can you easily adjust settings and change viewing modes on the fly. You now have to completely leave what you're watching or playing when bringing up said home screen, navigate to a sidebar menu, and then scroll down to a separate settings menu to perform actions that were just a few button presses away before. Last one is LG G2 OLED. If price isn't a concern for you and you simply want the best TV you can buy at any price point, well, then you want the LG G2 OLED. The OLED 65 G2 uses its extra brightness to make pretty much every frame of any source you care to mention look even more sublime than it has on any LG OLED before. Although the G2 OLED shares the same gallery design name as its GX and G1 predecessors, it actually looks completely different. Gone is the dark frame and chamfered edges. In is a nifty two-layer effect where a thin black rear slab sits proud of and slightly narrower than a chunkier front tier housing the screen that's encased in a very fetching and opulent-looking silver metal coat. The quality of the G2 OLED's connections is beyond reproach. In particular, all 4 of its HDMI ports are capable of handling the maximum 48 gigabits per second of data supported by the HDMI 2.1 standard. This means that hardcore video gamers could simultaneously attach an Xbox Series X, PS5 and cutting-edge PC graphics rig to enjoy full-fat 4K at 120 Hz, variable refresh rates and automatic low-latency modes switching from all of them. That, plus you'll still have one HDMI left for adding a 4K Blu-ray player or streaming box. To anyone familiar with LG's OLED TVs over the years, the impact made by the extra brightness the heat sink unlocks is instantly obvious. The extra brightness gives colors more volume and punch, regardless of whether you're talking about a very vibrant, rich tone, or a subtle, mild one. The end result is an OLED TV so supreme that it just barely misses the mark of our #1 spot, only because its price puts it a bit far out of reach for the average TV watcher. Cinephiles, however, should certainly invest. That's all about the video. I hope you guys like the video. See you guys next time.